This is Dawg Talk, episode 21, and today we have our guest, Meraki. How's it going, Meraki?
Good man. I'm here, bro.
Sweet. And, we're here today to talk about your new album that you just released, Up in Smoke. First off, I just want to know about how the process was making that. You know, what did you go through making that? What's going through your mind?
Man, we're pretty novice with music. We just started a couple months ago, so it started out kind of just two friends getting together, just fucking around making music. Things started to progress. We knew we were beginner level, but we actually liked our music a lot, so we just kept working on it day by day, and then, about 3-4 months later, we got a whole 12-track album out. Um, I don't know, we spent all of our time on it as far as like the concept and everything. We really tried to go for just something that you could vibe with, something that you could bop your head to, get lit
Okay.
to, listen in the car. But yeah, we're just going for more of that mainstream sound. Um,
Yeah, I could definitely, tell from listening to it. Now, this friend that helped you make the album, is he Cartier? I'm assuming he is.
yeah, yes, sir. That's Cartier. That's my guy. He been doing music for a minute actually, so he's not as new. But as far as like getting it out there to the world, this is the first time I believe that it's on every streaming platform.
Okay.
Um,
Does he do more of the production side, or do you get some of your beats from other sources?
As far as the beats, 3 of them, me and him worked on together. I'm the one that does most of the production stuff, but he just lays down the vocals mostly. But 3 of the beats, notably, I made. The rest of them, obviously, we just had outsources. We reached out to, got exclusive access to the beats, and even just all of the mixing, mastering, all of the production, marketing. That's just all been handled on my end mostly. So
Hmm.
other than the vocals, that's all he does. So
So you pretty much, you do everything. You can do everything. You produce a little bit, you mix a little bit, and you also rap.
yeah, man.
So,
I mean, it's definitely I'm not it's not anywhere I'm proud of it being at so far. I'm definitely one step at a time, but
mhm.
yeah, I try to do it all myself. I mean, I like having everything in control of my own hands. I like to see the vision. Kind of as soon as you start giving your music to other hands, whether it's to have them mix it or have them design the cover art or even make
Yeah,
the beat, I feel like a little bit of the energy gets lost in translation. So
yeah, definitely. How much time did you actually spend working on this? Like, was it something you worked literally all day, or did you have like some better time management where it was like, okay, I'll work from this time to this time? How much time did you spend making it?
man, well, first I am not a morning person, so everything I did was always like 3 a.m., like late as
Hmm.
hell at night. I work full time too, so I really didn't have that much time, like just straight free time to work on stuff. So it was just
Yeah,
every second I had at home, I was working on it. I got a little home studio here, and that's just where I do all my stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, literally for the past 3-4 months, like I said, every single second I had at home, I was just touching up music, working on it, trying to get it one step closer.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like me when I was first starting. I was working full time, and literally every second I had at home, I was working on music. So,
Right,
it's
man.
good you got
It
that drive.
Yeah, it gets to you, bro. You be at work too, and it's just, you got 808s bumping in your head while you're
Yeah.
at work. You're like, man, I don't know how to get this out, bro. It's
Yeah,
tough.
it's like,
So,
oh, I just need to figure out one thing when I get home.
no, seriously, that one mixing error, that one, vocal, whatever it is,
Yeah,
yeah, it irks me, man. Always on my mind. I feel you.
yeah, I feel that.
I just always want to know what DAW are you running on?
I use Studio One. I don't know
Mm.
if you guys ever heard of that.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it? It's made by Presonus. Fairly new, but yeah, they're a pretty great dog. Comes with Melodyne. Got a few other great things in there that
Oh, it comes
kind of
with
get you a jump
Melodyne?
start. Yeah, full
Damn.
access. So yeah, it's pretty dope. I just barely started. I actually got my license for it in December. That was the first month that I started
Mhm.
ever trying to even get into music. So
Have you, dabbled in other DAWs, or is this, the one you kinda just started with and stuck with?
yeah, I mean, I started out with FL Studio. I just didn't really like the layout. I had
Yeah.
Ableton Live too, but again, I could never get my hands on it to be
Mhm.
productive, find my workflow. So I don't know. Studio One just looks not looks the easiest, I guess, but it just is the most user friendly in my mind.
I started off with FL Studio also, and, I didn't really like it, so I moved on to Ableton, but I guess each person is gonna have their own, taste, so
Nah, definitely, man. I've heard the Ableton's fire too, so I'd love
yeah.
to get more into that eventually.
Yeah, I definitely prefer Ableton to FL Studio mostly because I just feel like it's so much faster to work with, you know? Like the
Right,
transition from FL to Ableton isn't really that difficult in my opinion.
right. I feel you. I went the other way because I went FL first, then Studio One, and then I tried to switch Ableton, and I was like, nah, I gotta go
Yeah.
back, bro. This I don't know what it was,
Yeah.
but I respect it.
Around how long would you say you've been making music?
Let me see. Well, honestly, so as far as I've been making it, trying to think, the very first song we ever like fully were convinced we were trying to get out there and work on fully, nothing just fucking around on was a song called Glizzy. And that
Mhm.
song came out, I believe it was in June. That was the very first release we ever put out, got out to the world. And we started working on it just about 2 weeks prior to that. So it did get out pretty quickly. I wasn't too satisfied with that one, if I'm being personally honest. Our first single that I really felt like I actually had something to work with was Fastlane, and it's deleted off of everything now because we put in the album, but it was a
Mhm.
single that dropped, I think it was just 2 weeks after Glizzy. It was like June 19th. And that was our first song that we ever tried to actually take seriously, and it's where we felt like we had to keep doing this more professionally. And yeah, so it's been pretty recently. It's no longer than 6 months as far as what we've been creating everything, and like 3 4 months for everything being out there.
Well, for 6 months you've got a decent discography so far, you know. Most artists wouldn't have this many songs, at the point that you're at. So that's
Right.
I feel like
pretty
on an
good.
average, they'd have one or two out, not a whole album. So that's actually
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Right. Yeah, and we try to like I don't know. I feel like there's two routes to music. You either got to take the perfectionist route of dropping like one perfect song at a time in your mind, or you got to just kind of not even clump together, but just put out a variety of genres of music that you really feel like could hit a bigger audience reach.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I
the target that we went for. If that makes
I feel
sense.
like
And I think we've touched on this multiple times before that the idea of perfection in your music kind of creates this wall of never actually putting anything out.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I brought back a lot of flashbacks there.
I feel like when you're just starting off making music though, it's important to like go rapid fire with all your songs and stuff because you're still trying to figure out how you want to sound and you're still trying to figure out what your audience kind of likes hearing from you. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
like
absolutely.
really just it helps with finding your voice and what style you like to go with.
No, absolutely. We actually yeah, because now I think about it, I should have mentioned this when you asked me about the concept of the album and everything. Our first idea wasn't to put out an album. It was to just drop we had these 12 songs about ready, but we were
Mhm.
just gonna drop them one solo or one single, excuse me, per month for the rest of the year so that we had, a consistent amount of product to keep getting out. But we kind of like you guys said, we wanted to figure out our style. We didn't know what we sounded best. Obviously we have our favorite songs as artists, but we don't know what other people will like the most. So
Mhm.
we just thought, instead of just dropping them all one at a time and never knowing which one's gonna be our best song, let's just drop them all at once, get the same amount of eyes on all of them. Whichever song does best is probably what song we should try to create more in the future of, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
definitely a huge part playing into why we kind of did what we did. And so far we're honestly kind of the songs that are our favorites are the ones that are doing the best too, which is pretty cool because it's falling in touch with what we like to create and what people like to hear. So
So what song does mean the most to you that you've made so far?
as far as my favorite, I'd say 45. It's the only song that I got a chorus on. Every other song I usually just have a verse on it or like a little hook, but this song I started it out and I don't know, it just caught both of our ears. We actually created that song. We had the whole album ready and we had a 12 songs. This is gonna sound confusing, but we had 12 songs ready. One of the songs we were unsure about. So last minute, like last week of getting the album ready to go, we cut that song out, created a brand new song, and that ended up being 45. And so it was literally on the verge of never being created, never being put into the album until we had second thoughts about another song. So it just kind of the situation that we were in. We didn't really expect much out of it. We created it, and I mean that song took. It was the easiest song to create. It took like probably 15 minutes each person write our lyrics, get them down. Um, the whole production and the beat and everything. I mean, we already had the beat made, but I don't know. It was just a cool song for us to get done, and we just felt like it had good potential. It was one of our faster songs, and it has been doing well so far. So
That's good to hear.
the label. Your website takes you to, it looks like it's a record label. Is that something you guys are making, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I set that website up all by myself. What's funny is the name simplisticrecords.com. It's actually it's an idea from my friend Cartier, the other rapper on the albums. His brother actually started music long ago before both of us. He's younger than us, but he doesn't get any, well, he gets some of his music out on streaming platforms, but he's more of the YouTube SoundCloud rap approach.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always had this vision with Simplistic Records, and it's just always caught on to me and Cartier. So we his name's Loslo. If you guys ever want to check him out, audience,
Okay.
I don't know, but he makes some great music too. He's been making it for years, and his whole idea with Simplistic Records is just the idea of what simplistic means, making hard things seem easy. So that's the whole goal with all of our music. We're just trying to make some dope music that kind of are like, damn, I wish it was that easy to make that. And so he stopped making music. I took the approach where I'm like, I want to make this look official. I want to make it look like we got something behind us to back us. People always judge with their eyes before their ears. So
Mm-hmm.
I set up a domain name, Simplistic Records, got one of those free websites, built that. And now, yeah, I update it weekly with new music. If you look at it now, I believe the top thing on the page is actually it's under another artist named Cody Claw. It's under
I
his
was gonna ask
music
about
came out
that too.
reality.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the go ahead, go ahead.
and the fact that you have a website is it actually does, impress people, regardless of what people say. Because when we were doing our research on you, you were the only artist that had their own website. It really is such a good thing to have.
Right, absolutely. And even another big thing, like I see a lot of not my friends, but people I know in my city that do music. And one thing they do is they just post their, music links to like their Snapchat or their Instagram, and it's their personal Instagram account. It's got like my name's Josh, it'd be like Josh B, and it's have his Instagram music link. And it's like nobody's gonna click on that and think of you a musician if they just know of you from high school or know of you from college or whatever the case is. Like you got
Mhm.
to make them want to be you before they want to hear you. So definitely played a huge part, and yeah, I'm appreciative. It was actually a big part of it too. Was my dad? He helped me set up that website. I tried to hide my music from him for the longest, to be honest with you. Finally figured it out, found it, and then yeah, man, he surprised me. He helped me out with that. So
That's good. He's supportive of that. A lot of parents would probably be like, "What is this?"
definitely. Yeah, no, he definitely has his mixed reactions sometimes, but he's been cool about it. He even he just got remarried not too long ago, and he played one of my songs at the wedding, which was really fucking cool because
It's
I had a
awesome.
bigger crowd. So
That's adorable.
right, yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was weird. It was like, because I live in Utah. I don't know, like a lot of people out here are pretty judgmental, pretty strict, pretty
Yeah.
straight up. A lot of the mixed reactions out there are a lot more judging than what you'd think.
Yeah, I feel like whenever like somebody starts making music and they really want to start making music and they start doing it, a lot of people are really judgmental because
For sure.
I see it with everybody, like even myself included. Like people are like, "Wow, this guy makes music." That's kind of weird. And like at first glance they'll be like, they won't really think much of it, but after a while once you start putting out more stuff and you really establish yourself as, somebody that makes music, they'll gain respect for you over time. You know,
Right, right.
it's just
No,
kind of
definitely.
disappointing that a lot of people aren't open-minded at first.
Nah, man, I'm going through that right now. I've, like lost probably 5, 6 friends, not lost friends, but I mean, they don't come around no more. I haven't seen them in, 6 months, a year, literally since I've been doing music. Like, I used to have a group of homies that were ride or die, and I started doing music, dedicating my life to it. I don't see him no more. And it's, every time I do talk to him, it's a little bit more like, oh, this dude does music. I don't know if I think of him the same. Like, it's kind of cringy. It's kind of whatever.
Yeah,
It's like, man, like, what are you doing with your life? Like,
exactly.
But
I don't know.
everybody listens to music and enjoys music. Who the fuck do you think's making it? It's people that want to start out and make music and go through the whole process.
Exactly. And that's the
It's
biggest
like,
thing that bugs me. It's, your friends will be the ones to post, all kinds of social media of their favorite artists and so on and so forth, but they'll never support their first friend's song, and they'll never, even if it is bad or even if it is good, like,
Yeah. I'm kind of lucky that I have like a good group of friends that really supports, my music and stuff like that.
right.
you, but
Yeah, I have my friends too. Like I remember the first, because you guys probably feel it too. Like maybe not the same instance, obviously, but for the first bit when you're creating music, you show your friends it and everything, and they'll kind of be like, yeah, it's good for like it's not good in
Mhm.
terms of music, but it's good for what you're doing. And then I remember the first, like that song Fastlane I was talking about, the first song I ever really liked. I remember 3 or 4 of my same friends that didn't really talk to me anymore hit me up and they're like, yo, this song actually goes really hard. I just heard it. Like, I'm gonna listen to this. I actually really like this song and stuff. And like that feeling was so surreal to me because I'm not a really ego-driven person most of the time. Like I'm pretty shy most of the time in real life, and I don't
Mhm.
really like care about attention. And to have people hit me up like telling me like my voice sounds good, it's like it's just a weird feeling. And I don't know. It does feel good to have those friends that do support you, but those were the same people for a while that just wouldn't hit me up, wouldn't talk to me, and I don't know.
You really gotta, like, believe in yourself, and people will eventually come to, see you the way that you intend to make yourself be shown. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I believe in that a big time. I think that you got to be your biggest critic, but you got to be your biggest believer always, because
Yeah.
no one else is gonna be as honest as you are with yourself, and nobody is gonna be able to like hype yourself up as much as you, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
you got to keep yourself driven, but you also got to keep yourself realistic with what you're doing.
exactly.
So another big part that was weird too. When I was at that wedding, man, my name, I gotta talk about it. It's bugging me. If I first went by O2 Meraki, people would come up to me at the wedding and be like, "What's your name?" I felt so damn weird telling them my name, dog. Like, I was like, "How do I tell 'em my name, bro?" I was like, "Nah, you can just take my friend's name, Cartier, bro." Like,
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of your
so,
name, what does it mean? I know there's something in your SoundCloud bio. It says, "Look up definition of Meraki." What is the definition of
hey,
Meraki?
man, you did your damn research, bro. I'm fucking proud. Damn,
I
I
figure I'd
never
just
had
ask
somebody.
you.
Hey, I appreciate it. That's really worked out well. So this is the whole idea of where I got the name. 2 years ago, when I discovered that my friend Loslo, the one that started that Simplistic Records idea I was talking about, he was trying to get me to rap, and he was kind of more meaning. He knew I was, it'd be a joke if I started rapping. So he was trying to come up with a rap name for me. After doing a bit of Googling, figuring out names, rap name generator, all that Post Malone bullshit,
Mhm.
um, I found a pretty cool word, and the name it's the word Meraki. It's a Greek
It's
word.
yeah, I was gonna say it's Greek, right?
Yeah, and I thought that I mean, it's probably it doesn't it's kind of soft for like the music I make. It doesn't really tie as much into what I'm making right now, but I feel like it's got good potential because it's supposed to stand for essentially when you love something so much, like a piece of art, that you leave a piece of yourself behind in it. That's kind of what I wanted to go for with music, to where I felt so passionate about it that I wanted to leave a bit of my heart and passion into it. So I don't know. I just thought it was original and something
Yeah,
cool. So
it's a cool name.
it's not bad. It's better than O2 Meraki. That was the reason other people have already used this name before. That was one of my problems. I was like,
Hmm.
there's already 5, 6 other Merakis on SoundCloud, Spotify,
Yeah.
all this. Do I just want to go by Meraki and try to surpass them, or do I want to try to go by something more different? So at first I was going by O2 Meraki. Didn't like the sound of it, the flow, whatever. So then I was just like, fuck it, let me just be Meraki. The current Meraki at the time had like 1,500 monthly listeners, probably like 4,000 total streams on one of their songs, and I was like, that's really not that far off. Like, I could beat that. I could surpass their
Mhm.
monthly listeners, I could surpass their streams, and then become like the Meraki that does pop up at the top of the search bar just after I take some time. So I just kind of went for that route. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just decided just to say fuck it and try to just overcome the other one. So if there's another Meraki listening, I apologize, but I'm coming for your throat.
Yeah. Watch out.
Mhm.
Uh,
And now, since we are approaching the end of our time here today, we will say that feel free to message us anytime and come back on the show. We love having repeats. We love seeing what people are up
Definitely.
to. And if there was one piece of advice that you could give anyone just starting out, already established, like anything, what would that be?
my biggest advice to anybody starting out music, especially, honestly, don't listen. Like, you could show others your music and stuff, but don't let it get to you. Like, if you really do care about music and you do really care about making good songs, you'll know when it sounds dope. Just keep pushing till you know you got it. You're not gonna, if you keep relying on other people's words of telling you when it's good or when it's not, they're never gonna give you as honest feedback. So just listen to your heart, keep doing you, and yeah, as long as you're being honest with yourself, it'll come naturally. So
Well,
All right,
that is
so
some.
now I'm gonna talk in your ear for a second, because for any of our listeners out there, we've been absent for a bit. It's been a couple weeks, guys, and we're sorry, but
We have
we
life.
didn't want to push episodes out when we had nothing substantial to talk about. Is the thing. Like, we don't want to
Right.
turn into a show that's just pushing out content because we
Just for the.
said we would every week. We want to actually bring you guys people to talk to and learn about, like Meraki here. We love to highlight up and coming artists and producers and stuff like that. And we didn't have anything really to bring to you guys that would have added value. So
Yeah.
we're
And
not
on
just gonna
top of
talk
that,
in your ear for a half hour.
yeah. And on top of that, we both have our own lives that we're trying to balance everything with.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy.
Allie works a lot. I'm in school full time. So, sometimes it's hard to really balance everything. But we're trying our best. And,
What we are going to push on you, though, is don't forget to check out the website. We have merch up. We've got more
yes.
stuff coming. It's going to be dawgtalk.com/shop.
Yes,
We have
check it
shirts,
out.
we have hats,
Link
we have bottles, we have dog collars. Come on, guys. Get
for
your
your
dog
dog.
collars.
How could you not?
Yeah. The link for that will be in the description, along with, if you want to check out any of Meraki's socials, any of his music, links for that will be in the description also.
Appreciate you guys
Thank
big
you
time.
for joining us. It was wonderful.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Must say, I just started checking out your stuff early this morning, and I really dig it. A lot, actually.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Um,
Make sure to check out your shit too. And yeah, hopefully sometime soon we could talk again. So
Yeah, no, anytime. Just you have my email now, and just hit me up.
I be looking at my bitch, damn, she's so fine. All that shit on my hip, it's a 4-5. Bitch, call me lieutenant like an 05. Bitch, I'm just woke, ain't no sleep deprived. When the streets get cold, I pull the heater out. Ain't fucking with you bitches, y'all just want the clout. Yeah.